This is the year we could see women in charge of the UK, of Germany, and even the United States. So is the 21st century the first female century, or are glass ceilings still hovering above women's heads? Well, one industry accused of persistent male bias is the most 21st century of them all. That is technology, particularly information technology. So what can tech learn from politics? Joining me are the tech entrepreneur, Belinda Parmar, and the founder of Wikipedia, Jimmy Wales. Welcome to you both. Belinda, you've written this book, Bridging the Gap, A Little Miss Geek. What is the problem? I mean, women I see around don't seem to have much problem using technology.
So they don't have a problem using technology, but they're not inspired to work in technology, and that's the real issue here. So in the UK, only 15% of the tech workforce is female, 1-5. There's a couple of things going on. There's the image problem, the perception that people who work in technology are pizza-guzzling nerds who cannot get girlfriends, which just isn't the case. And the second thing is also that the environments when women do go into the industry, they leave at twice the rate of men. So they're not particularly female-friendly environments. So there's some of the big issues. Is
there a sort of sexism problem in tech?
I think there can be to some extent. And I think if you ask people in tech about this, it's not sort of really overt, old-fashioned attitudes, but there is a kind of a negligence about the issue. So a lot of times companies aren't really paying attention to the issue in the way that I think they could.
And I mean, are the people involved in tech, you know, are they pizza-gathering nerds in T-shirts who don't wash that often and don't really encourage girls to come around?
Mostly not. I think it is a myth, and that's what we really need to lift the veil of the tech industry. I mean, if you're a young woman, you're going to get paid more. It's an exciting career to have, and you're always going to be in demand. I mean, by 2020 in this country, we need 1 million jobs in the tech sector. We are not going to fill them. So I would encourage all young women to consider a career in tech.
What about the contribution of women so far? I mean, everyone's heard of Gates and Zuckerberg and all those people. Have women made significant contributions to the developing of tech?
Well, certainly they have. I mean, Sheryl Sandberg, of course, quite famously is a very powerful woman in tech. Marissa Mayer was running Yahoo, still is, I suppose.
But these aren't the real inventors. They're the people who've taken it on.
Well, it's a good question, actually. I'm not sure. I mean, certainly in terms of executive level CEOs, we've had 3 different CEOs at Wikipedia who are female. But I think there is, in part, I think due to education. So this division in tech, in hard tech, so real programming and so forth, actually it goes back much earlier than the companies. It's actually in universities, and even lower than that, women begin to drop out of tech.
And yet this is Ada Lovelace Day. You've named a daughter after Ada Lovelace. Tell us about Ada Lovelace. Who was she?
Well, she was our first computer programmer, and she was Lord Byron's daughter. I think the point, though, that's really important is that this is an opportunity to showcase those women that are in tech. And the problem with the few examples, Sheryl Sandberg, Marissa Mayer, is there's just not enough of them. So there's not even a glass ceiling of in the industry. There are thick layers of men, and what we need here is to get lots more women inspired to create technology, not just consume it, as you said.
Is there a problem that the gateways into technology for a lot of people are computer games, things like Minecraft, which seem more geared towards boys than girls?
Well, look, there is an argument that boys have a magnetic attraction to computers and video games. And I walk into my son's, play group, and where there's computers, all the young boys are on the computers. There is an element of truth to that. However, what girls don't know is about the creative side of technology, and things like Minecraft are really good because they really help with computational thinking and spatial awareness and all the things you need to be a great developer of products. So those things are really helping, and we need to encourage I have a daughter and a son, we need to encourage our girls to play Minecraft, to play Lego, and do the things that are typically relegated to boys' toys.
Jimmy Wales, would a female president, you think, encourage women into the tech sector in America?
I mean, I think in general it sends a very positive signal, not just in tech. Certainly the alternative that U.S. is facing clearly won't be good for women in America.
Mr. Trump.
Mr. Trump, yes. His attitudes do represent, it's hard for me to discuss him on television without cursing, so I best stop there.
But I mean, you really think that it's more serious than locker room gossip, as he's put it?
Yeah, for sure.
Why?
I mean, I think he evidences sort of typical behaviors and attitudes. There was this news report that he interrupted Hillary 51 times during the first debate, and she interrupted him 17 times. And it's that kind of bullying behavior that I think really indicates what kind of a person he is.
And conversely, we've got Mrs. May here, Theresa May, making the point that there have been 2 Conservative Prime Ministers. Is that a good thing for getting women to move into what have been seen as male-oriented spheres?
Absolutely, you can't be what you can't see. So I think absolutely having more female role models is really, really important for girls to aspire to that. And I think the Trump thing, I mean, it's just horrific to watch him, watch him with Hillary, and be so undignified. So for me, having a female president of the US would absolutely send a positive signal and help all sectors, not just technology.
I mean, we know that he's good at tweeting. Are either of them any much good at technology into it? Do they know much about it?
I'm not sure. I mean, Hillary, I've spoken to her a little bit about tech. She seemed well aware of various issues, net neutrality, things like that. She's quite a policy wonk in so many different ways, but I would say she's probably not. I don't know, Donald said he's got a 10-year-old son who loves computers. I'm not sure that's indicative of anything.
I think it's how they use technology. I mean, that is the tweets that Trump has tweeted. Kind of we ask the question: what kind of leadership do we want? Is this the future we want for the next generation, our daughters, our nieces? And absolutely not is the answer from where I'm standing.
Okay, the book is called "Bridging the Gap Between Women and Technology." Little Miss Geek. Thank you both very much indeed.
Thank you.